Today is my birthday, and you know that every year I make myself a birthday cake. I make an ice cream themed cake to celebrate. Year 5 and no one's made me a cake. Anyone? Anyone? I've done it all. An ice cream cone, banana split, sundae. I was kind of stumped this year, but then I discovered these new creature creations from Baskin-Robbins. They are absolutely adorable and totally cakeable. So let's do this. And by let's, I mean you can watch me do it on my birthday. Thank you to Baskin-Robbins Canada for supporting and collaborating with me on this video. There's 3 different creature creations. There's a mermaid, a unicorn, and a monster. So I'm gonna focus on making the unicorn and the mermaid. For each creature creation, I baked 2 6-inch round cakes. They're out of their pans, and now it's time to level them and remove the caramelization from the bottom. For my first cake, I baked a pink and mauve marbled cake. For the second cake, I baked confetti cake and prepared them in the same way. All of my cakes are higher than I need them to be. So what I'm going to do now is cut off a slice and level them to the exact height I'm looking for, and then layer that piece in 2. As for the top layers that I removed, I'm going to save them because that's what I'm going to make my ice cream scoops out of later on. I think they should make a cake decorator creature creation. Yeah, like the face on the cup could be me, and then the cute little chocolate topper could be a ruler. Everyone would pick that one. Baskin-Robbins, feel free. Let me stay still so you can.
I love how you're not like, the picture on the cup could be a baker. Like, the picture on the cup could be me.
I'm going all the way. It's my birthday. It's now time to simple syrup all of my cakes. This means the layers that are gonna build my cake and then the extra layers that will be for my ice cream scoop. I can put those extra layers for the scoops aside for now. I'll get back to them later. And now it's time to fill and stack the main portion of my cake with Italian meringue buttercream. So I fill and stack the pink and mauve cake and put it in the fridge to chill. And I fill and stack the confetti cake with Italian meringue buttercream and put it in the fridge to chill. And the good news is they were both exactly 4 inches high. If that's not a birthday treat, I don't know what is. I'm ready to carve these cakes, and what I want to do is create just sort of an A-line diagonal cut all along the sides so it will look like an upside down cup. Because I'm going to place each one of these cakes on an individual board, I have that board already cut to the size I want, and I use that, I hold that on top, and I cut from the edge of that board down to the bottom edge of the bottom cake, and that's how I create my A-line. I want to do the same thing on the second cake, and now I can crumb coat and chill both cakes with more Italian meringue buttercream. My cakes are chilled. The crumb coat is set. It's time to ice these cakes, and I'm going to use a bench scraper to really help me straighten out those sides. That sounds weird because they are diagonal, but I still want them to be straight. You know what I'm saying? Straight angle, I need a straight angle. Now I can place the cakes in the fridge to chill once more. It's time to roll out white fondant. What you want to do is measure your cake up one side, across the bottom. Right now it's the top, but it will be the bottom. That's right, there'll be some flipping in this episode. It's my birthday.
It's your birthday, yo, come on.
I'm gonna flip not 1, but 2 cakes. Now you can drape your fondant over the cake, and you wanna quickly start to smooth it to the sides. You wanna smooth downwards so you can release all the air. And using a fondant smoother really helps because your hands just aren't as flat as a fondant smoother. Am I gonna be like the first person who wants some kind of weird surgery? Like I'm gonna go to a doctor like, make these hands as flat as possible.
Probably, yeah.
And the doctor will be like, I've seen some things, but this one's new. Trim away the excess that's at the base of the cake, and you also wanna trim away the excess that is now on top of what will be the base board of the cake. I love a flush cut. Not just ice cream is my favorite thing. Good measuring, nice sharp cut. I like all this.
Yo, by us not making you a birthday cake and you making it for yourself, it's our gift to you. See what I'm saying? Because like you get all these things out of it. You get measurements, straight angles, smooth sides.
Cengiz is literally nodding and I'm like, nice try, guys. The cups are looking good, but I definitely want to add the top rim to the cup. Right now it's on the bottom. I'm going to clay extrude some white fondant with the largest circle faceplate. And I want to make sure I measure the circumference of the cake to make sure I extrude cords that are long enough to make it around once. And they make it around once. I didn't have to patch, I didn't have to add a little piece. I just glued it to the base of the cake with a little bit of piping gel. Always decide the front of your cake sooner rather than later, because then you can decide where you want all the seams to lay. The cups look great, but they need a face. We need to identify which creature they are. So I'm gonna roll out some fondant in the appropriate colors for the mermaid and the unicorn cup. Now, I gave myself another birthday gift, templates. I basically enlarged the graphic that's on each cup, and I'm using that template to cut out all the pieces I need from my colored fondant. And I also like to use the template to mark the placement of those pieces on my cake. So usually, you know, I decide where I want it to go, I pin it in place, and then I use a tip of a knife and a pin to mark, you know, where the ears go, where the inside of the ears go, where the eyes go. So it's kind of like a stencil on the cake. I also need to cut out the Baskin-Robbins logos. And then I just need to clay extrude a little bit of gray fondant and black fondant. And this is what I'll be using to create the eyes and the ears. So now that both of my cakes have been stenciled and I can see where everything goes, I'm gonna carefully put everything in place with a little bit of clear piping gel as my glue. With the clay extruded pieces, I'm just gonna form them on my template to make sure that they're symmetrical and then place them on my cake. So when you go into Baskin-Robbins, you get to choose which character cup you want. Mermaid, unicorn, or monster. Then you get to choose your ice cream flavor and a fun topper and sprinkles are added. So now with these cakes, I need to recreate the ice cream, create a topper, and add some sprinkles. I'm gonna start with my unicorn character cup, and the flavor I've chosen is cotton candy crackle. It actually crackles when you eat it. There's like crackling candy in the ice cream. This is huge. What? You could pick between 3 character cups and then 31 flavors? How many combinations is that? Guys, let me know, which character cup would you choose? The unicorn, the monster, or the mermaid? And what flavor of ice cream would you fill it with? Leave me a comment below. To recreate this cotton candy crackle ice cream, I'm using the extra layers of my pink and mauve cake. And the first thing I want to do is just sort of carve them down so they're a little more like a dome that fits on the center top of the cup. Then I'm gonna color some Italian meringue buttercream in pink and mauve to match the ice cream. Now I can fill and stack my humps, or my scoop rather, and carefully place it on top of the cake so that I can ice it like a scoop in the cup. Just like many of my other ice cream creation cakes, I am gonna use a small spatula to dab extra buttercream around the edges of the scoop to look like it was scooped. This ice cream is almost complete, but I need to add the crackle. And I kept thinking, what am I gonna add? So what I decided to use is a chocolate bar that's filled with sponge toffee. I cut away all the chocolate and then I chopped up the sponge toffee inside because it resembles the like caramel color of the crackling bits in the ice cream. Now I'm gonna add these little nuggets into the ice cream here and there.
Yum. I'm going to Baskin-Robbins right after this.
For my mermaid character cup, I have chosen a flavor of ice cream that I have to admit I didn't even know existed.
What is it?
Whenever I have Baskin-Robbins, I always have the same flavor, which is Jamocha almond fudge, because of my love of coffee and chocolate. Hello! But They have a new flavor. Are you ready for what it... This seems like the ultimate birthday gift. You ready? It's called icing on the cake. Which really proves that there should be a cake decorator character cup. You see what I'm saying? The icing on the cake ice cream has cake pieces and frosting bits. So to recreate this in my ice cream scoop, I'm rolling out some fondant in the color of the cake pieces and the frosting bits. I then let this fondant sit aside and dry out a bit so that I could break it up into pieces because the pieces in the ice cream are not perfectly uniform. Now I'm going to ice my cake scoop just like I did with the other cake. Oh, and don't forget the dabs around the edges because we all enjoy that. The creature creations come with a chocolate topper. It's like the cherry on top, except it's the chocolate on top. So what I want to do is recreate these toppers out of gum paste. And I cut out the base of my toppers from white gum paste, cutting out the mermaid tail and the unicorn horn. Now, I always make more than one because gum paste can break and crack and I like to be safe. Once your base has sort of been set aside and dried, we can add the color and the decoration on top. For the unicorn horn, there are sort of 4 bands of color, and I'm going to mimic that by rolling out some gum paste, gluing it on to the base of my unicorn horn, cutting it accordingly, and then I'm adding some clay extruded black fondant in between the colors, and this represents sort of the way a unicorn horn twists. For the mermaid tail, the bottom part of the tail is blue, and of course it has the little scales, so I'm using a piping tip to indent those scales, and then the top of the tail is a lovely pink and lavender. I'm gonna cover it with pink and create the lavender lines of motion in the tail. And you know what? This just further confirms that we need a cake decorating creature creation. I just confirmed this. I'll tell you why. Because there's a unicorn. You're the unicorn, Jocelyn. There's a mermaid. Connie is the mermaid of How to Cake It.
She is.
Where am I? I'm the monster? No! To make sure that my toppers stay upright on my cakes, I'm going to glue a popsicle stick to the back with a little bit of royal icing and just wait till that royal icing dries. Now I'm ready to top my creatures. I'm gonna add the unicorn horn to the unicorn and the mermaid tail to the mermaid. They are so cute, but they need some like magical sprinkles right now. So I'm gonna sprinkle the sprinkles onto my ice cream. The cool thing is when you go to Baskin-Robbins and order a creature creation, you also get a free headband for your child. I don't wanna be a mermaid anymore. I want to be a unicorn. Why should I choose? It's my birthday. I'm going to have it all. Oh, and guys, since it's my birthday, I'm holding a 48-hour flash sale. Use the code BIRTHDAYBASH to get 15% off anything on the site. Thank you again to Baskin-Robbins Canada for supporting and collaborating with me on this video. Can't get enough cake? Check this out.
Happy birthday, Yolanda!
Thank you! I'm gonna go back to being a mermaid, a mernicorn. I'm a mernicorn.
Yes, a mernicorn!
I'm a mernicorn. I will see you next week. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll be underwater or flying in the sky.